Good Mom and Monday. You're here with the Mistake Mama podcast. I'm Kaylee.
And I'm Mandee.
And we're checking our list.
And we're checking it twice.
This week, we're going to be talking about Cookie Day.
Yes.
I am aware that maybe somebody doesn't know what I'm talking about. For what we're referring to is Cookie Day is like a day where we make cookies for Christmas.
Yep.
And just that whole thing. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. But let's do our wins, our fails, and our books before we jump right into that.
Okay.
Okay.
My fail is this morning.
I'm excited to hear about all this.
So Michael and I were talking last night. This is a little bit off topic, but we were talking last night saying how we want to start waking up before the kids and having that time to just like, for us.
That is so great in theory.
Yeah, I know. In practice, it's really hard.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about this last night and I was like, but I don't want to set an alarm because half the time I set an alarm and then Maverick will end up just waking up to it and come out with me. And then it defeats the purpose. I'm like, I could have been sleeping. So I was like, well, I'm just going to, whatever time I naturally wake up, because sometimes I'll wake up and I'm like, oh, it's only blah, 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 and go back to sleep. And then whatever time I naturally wake up, I'm just going to wake up. Well, this morning it happened to be 7:30 and I was like, Maverick's going to wake up here any minute, but whatever, I'll get up. I said I would, so I will. So I got up. I was like 10 seconds into my pee stream. TMI. And Maverick
Woke up.
Morning, mama.
Oh, goodness.
Like, yeah, didn't think that was going to last long. So doing the morning shenanigans. Everything was fine, I guess. Except I didn't get my morning, but whatever.
Nope.
Michael and Quincy wake up shortly after that. And then we're running around getting stuff cleaned up. I'm trying to get ready. And Michael goes out into the living room and he's like, what is that? And that's all I hear. And I can hear Maverick say, just a candle. And I was like, just a candle. Because I had lit the candle this morning because I was hoping to have some time to myself. And I was like, oh no, I didn't blow that out before I came back here. And he's like, well, let's go talk to mom. And so they come back there and Michael's like, tell mom what you spilled all over the couch. Red. Bright red, like cranberry red.
I wish you would have taken a picture.
I should have. It was like immediately get this off of my couch.
Oh, yeah.
My couch is like a light grayish color.
I don't think we have anything to compare it to in here.
Yeah, not today.
Maybe
the gray and maybe somewhere in that book.
Somewhere in this.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to plug it. I'm just
She is by
100%.
Book 2 coming
Well, now
out
I might
soon.
as well. I wrote this book. It's Kate by Kaylee and McGinnis. It's pretty great.
It is.
Book. Plug.
Book 2 coming.
Book 2 coming soon.
To a store near you.
Just maybe. I don't know.
Anyway, so then I was trying to clean that up, but I had like 30 minutes till you were here. So I was like, Michael, this is the best I can do right now. Like, I gotta go get ready. He's like, it's fine. I'll do it. And then he did that. And then he was trying to vacuum.
All the while I'm just getting ready, not even completely oblivious to any of this going on over here.
He's vacuuming after he cleans that up and he's like, shit. And I was like, what? And he was like, I just sucked up the cat toy. And I was like, oh my gosh. And it's like this little feather bird thing.
Oh.
And so then we spent a good like 5-10 minutes trying to get this bird thing out of the hose of the vacuum.
Oh no.
Finally get that done. And then he came into here to vacuum and swiped the vacuum and was like, it's wet. And I was like, oh no. And he's like, a cat pissed in here. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So now he's going to have to take apart the vacuum and clean the vacuum because cat piss.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Which is like the ruiner of all things.
All things.
All things.
So then I'm cleaning up the cat pee on the floor. And then I'm like, well, did the cat pee anywhere else in here? So then I'm feeling around, peeing Kaylee's chair she's sitting in right now.
It's clean now.
It's clean now. But I just immediately was like, gotta grab cleaner. So I grabbed a bottle of Pine Sol and was just cleaning. And then it was a nightmare in here because it
was very intense. I
was
walked
so
in,
overwhelmed.
I'm like, knock, knock, knock. Whatever. Michael opens the door. He looks flustered. And I was just like, it's morning. Whatever. It's fine. Yeah. He's got the vacuum. And he was like, okay, come in. I'm like, okay. He's had a weird morning. All right, that's fine. Walk in and I'm like, whoa.
We've been cleaning in here.
I say hi to Maverick and I say hi to Quincy, and I go past and Maverick's like, watch out for the vacuum. And so I'm like, I go around the vacuum. I goes like, I'm sorry, I'm vacuuming. I'm like, it's fine, it's totally fine. I don't care.
Right.
It's not really in my way. It's all good. Walk in here and then just hit with this. I've never used Pine Sol, so I've never actually smelled it before.
Oh, it's intense.
But I was like, wow, it smells like something. And Mandy's like, pine. I'm like, yeah, pine.
Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly. And she's like, I'm sorry, I'm cleaning. And she's just like wiping this chair. Like, it's fine. And then she tells me, I'm like, wow, you've had an eventful morning.
It's been a morning.
And one of my 3 kids is still sleeping.
I guess that's what I get for, like I've mentioned on here, we got another cat. The cat is staying.
Wow. I'm glad it worked out.
It's working out for the most part. Mm-hmm. However, they don't necessarily get along. Well, she doesn't like him. Mm-hmm. He's totally fine with her. He's like, do whatever you want. But last night was the first night that we left them both out. And I think that's the peeing situation.
That makes me think it was Ziva.
I think it was.
Being territorial.
Because she's the only one since we've got this other cat that we've actually witnessed peeing somewhere else. Other than her litter box. Mm-hmm. So we do have separate litter boxes for them. And both the doors were open last night. But I just have a feeling, I think he might have used her litter box. Because I don't think he has a problem with sharing. It's her.
And so you think maybe she was marking this room.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Saying like, this is mine, back off. Mm-hmm. So I think tomorrow night we are going to separate them again. And if that's the way it has to be, then, you know, whatever, we'll make it work. But I'm hoping eventually they will kind of simmer out. Which I feel like a lot of times cats do. Like over time, they kind of are like, I don't like you. I don't want to be by you, but whatever. You can be over there. Yeah. You know? So that was my morning.
Yeah, I've never had that problems. Like, because I've never personally actually owned any. Or I've had cats, but I've only ever had like one at a time. We've had a mix of like a cat and a dog before, but like, you know, but I've heard the whole, you get 2 cats and one of them is not very happy. My grandma had that problem because she had Cassie and then got Mariah. Cassie already was a bitch. Right. And then became even more of one for a little while.
Ziva.
Because Cassie, I think, was an adult when they got Mariah, who was a kitten at the time.
Right, yeah.
And so kind of same thing. And then I think my mom has 2 cats, and I'm pretty sure I remember when they got Misha, B was like, oh, fuck no. Yep. And then it just simmered down eventually.
Apparently cats are very territorial and like lone creatures.
I mean, it tracks if you look at their wild counterparts.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yep.
That's a fail.
You got it. You got one. Add to the fail pot.
Not really.
Well, good.
Everything's been pretty smooth for me.
Well, good.
I do have wins.
Well, that's good.
So let me just follow up your really intense fail from this morning for my win from yesterday.
I got my mom attached to my head.
Oh,
there we go.
My mom watched our 3 kids for a few hours yesterday, so me and Thomas could go on a lunch date.
Nice.
We drove up to a nearby town and just went out to Red Robin. I really wanted their fries and campfire sauce.
Oh, that's my jam.
It's like 100%.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we got some onion rings, and it was so nice to not have to share because like we haven't gone on a date night in like 2 years.
Yeah.
And even because the last time we went on a date night was when you watched the kids, but we still only stayed home and made something at home. Right. We haven't like gone out on a date by ourselves in a very long time.
It's necessary.
It is. And so we went. It was really
very
nice.
much needed.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It was funny. Oops, I'm so sorry. It was funny because like we sat down, a couple and their like 1-2-year-old son was seated behind Thomas, so I was facing them. The little boy kept going over the thing and just smiling super big at us. That's and then cute. Thomas would do the, what are you doing? thing. And the mom and the dad were kind of mortified at first because they were like, oh my God, our kid's like driving these people nuts. Right. Pretty positive that was their only child. Yeah. And the dad was like, don't bother them. Like, I'm like, we're like, it's totally fine. You know,
Yeah.
And then Thomas was like, we have 3 at home. I get it.
Yeah.
And then they were like, okay.
Okay, cool.
We're not like bothering this like
Yeah.
couple that's going to be a bitch to us or whatever.
Yeah.
So we were really nice. And
That's always,
it's cute.
it's so funny when you're out without your kids and people, like, you watch them trying to prevent them from bothering you. And you're just like, totally cool.
Yep.
I get it. Got them at home. That's why they're at home.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A separate win, and we'll talk more about this next week, but I got like 99% of my Christmas shopping done.
Yay!
I know. I'm so proud of myself.
Yay.
Because I was like really behind, but now I'm like.
So good. We just organized all like the kids' gifts, not last night, but the night before, to figure out like what else, little things that we want to get and stuff. And I am so happy that I don't have to figure it all out right now, because as I just told Kaylee before this podcast, my schedule is very packed up until Christmas.
Yes. For us in real life, again, we record about 4 weeks in advance. Thanksgiving is next week for us.
Yeah.
It is currently Wednesday in the week previous of Thanksgiving.
Right.
So that's where we are.
15th.
Yes, today is November 15th.
My daughter's birthday is in 3 days.
Yes. In which I think we talked about,
Yes.
like, what, 2 weeks ago or something? We're like, it's
Yeah.
technically her birthday.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But so that's real life for us right now. And so things literally starting this week get very chaotic for you.
Very.
And I mean, just the next 3 weeks in general are just busy. I mean, all around.
Yeah.
Because, like, I share at least 3 of those events with you.
Mm-hmm.
But you're every week. I'm thankful that it's not every week for me, but it is for you.
Every week, and it's like multiple things a week.
Yeah.
It would be okay if it was just like, oh, every weekend is busy, but it's every weekend plus.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Let me know if you need any help with anything.
Will do.
I'll do the best that I can.
Will do. Yeah, it's been something.
Send your prayers to Mandee. She needs it. Although I guess by the time you see that, we'll already be pretty deep into that. So then definitely be sending your prayers.
Yeah.
We will gladly take coffee cards.
Oh, thank you. Please. My win is that we went to Disney on Ice
Oh, yeah. I saw your story.
last weekend. What day did we go?
I think it was literally a couple days ago. Yeah.
It was Saturday, the 11th, Veterans Day. And that is really cool.
Is it?
I always thought it was kind of just like hyped up, but I saw that it was coming. This was a few months back. I saw that it was coming and I was like, oh, we should take the kids to that. We wanted to go last year, but we didn't know when I was going to have Quincy. And it was right around the same time. And so I was like, I'm not going to risk being all the way up in Portland.
Yeah. Which for us is like
going into labor.
2 hours-ish away.
Yeah. Do you need me to come out there? Yes. I'm coming.
That's scary.
I know.
Mandee's chaotic morning is continuing. Pause. Take your time. Oh, Mandee.
So over this day. We're not feeling very merry and bright right now.
Figure might as well start your chaos now, right?
I guess. Maybe if we could just get this part of it out of the way, that'd be great. Animal pee and poop everywhere.
That just happened, as in like just now.
Yeah, we could add to the fail. My husband just came and interrupted us because the kitchen was, when I say full, I mean full of pee and poop.
I only heard it. I didn't see it. I was like, I'm not going out there. I'm not going to add my presence into the situation.
Thankfully, my kitchen is tile. So it cleaned up fine. But I'm defeated.
Oh, man. Well, maybe we can try to bring some joy back into this moment with cookies.
With cookies, yeah.
So cookie day.
Yes, cookie day. That would be much better than what's happening today.
So, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure if any of you guys did cookie day growing up. If you do them now, you might have a version of this. It's like, I guess it stems from you leave milk and cookies out for Santa, and then so you cookies got to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm sure some people probably just buy cookies for that.
Right.
But I know a lot of other people make cookies, and that is something that both of our families do.
Yep. Yeah, when I was little, it was typically we just did the sugar cookies and then frosted them. And that's all that we would really do. And then other family members would like make other cookies and bring them to the family events. But when it was just like my mom and I, we would mostly just make the sugar cookies and stuff. That was like our cookies that we made.
Yeah. When I was growing up, I only participated in the sugar cookie part, right? Because that was kind of an easy one for kids to do.
Right, yeah.
You know, you let the kids
slap on
them.
the frosting and sprinkles.
Well, I was saying even the shapes.
Oh, yeah.
The shapes, and then mom or dad or whoever bakes them, and then once they're ready, you decorate them, right?
Yeah.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then my mom would sometimes make one or two other types, usually snickerdoodles, and then also sometimes like chocolate chip or the peanut butter Hershey Kiss.
Yep.
Whatever ones. I forget what the actual name of those are.
Yeah. It was just in my head.
Yes,
it's left the brain. It starts with a B, I think.
No idea. I don't know. I just know that that's kind of what we did growing up. It was usually like a whole ass event, usually sometime in mid-December.
Yeah.
Give or take, usually about no more than 2 weeks before Christmas, because obviously you don't want stale cookies.
Right, yeah.
Week and a half, week, somewhere in there before Christmas. Usually not like right before, because chaos, and then you're stuck with a lot of cookies for a very long time.
Yeah, exactly. Because I feel like there's like a sweet spot, which I don't know what that sweet spot is going to be for us this year, now that I'm thinking of all my things.
Oh, yeah, because you have something going on at like every point.
We'll have to figure that one out, because I'm not really sure. By the time this is posted, we know. It's probably happened.
Yeah. Either that or it's at least scheduled.
About to happen.
Because I was going to say we're only in the second week of December by the time.
Yeah.
So it's probably, the day has been planned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so we did that growing up. Those were the cookies that I did. And you said you only really did the sugar cookies and then whatever.
Yeah.
I already know the answer to this, but has that changed since you've been an adult?
Yeah. Oh, the other one we make, and now it just jogged my memory, is we would make snickerdoodles. We would make usually snickerdoodles in that one. And so now we make the sugar cookies, snickles, snickerdoodles. Usually
I don't know why that's making me laugh. I don't know. I'm like trying to like mentally combine it, like a snickerdoodle and a Snickers.
Yeah.
A snickered. Yep.
Snickerdoodles.
A snickle.
That's funny. We also do the peanut butter cup with the my mom usually put like a Reese's peanut butter cup in hers though.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a lot of peanut butter.
I know a lot of people do the Hershey's Kiss, but she'll sometimes do the Reese's.
I thought you were just like,
I'm imagining putting them in and pushing them down.
You put them in like this? Are you a wizard?
Well, mostly I was thinking about pushing them down.
You had the fancy finger.
You know.
If you do it this year, you better just like set them like very delicately on top so that they're not quite there. And then just make sure your mom is watching and then just be dramatic about it. But with the most neutral face, as if it is the most normal thing in the world. And just, I mean, your mom doesn't call shit out.
She won't.
But she'll be questioning.
She might say, "What are you doing?" But that's about it.
That's so funny.
I usually make some kind of chocolate chip cookie. What else have we... Oh, we've been making red velvet cookies because Dylan really likes those. And as the years have gone on, I've mentioned several times that we were vegan. So a lot of those I was making vegan. So we would be making regular sugar cookies, and then I would make vegan
vegan
cookies.
Ones.
We would make regular snickerdoodles. I would make vegan like it was just... So we had a lot of cookies. I think this year will be a little bit less.
I think we did Cookie Day with you the past 2 years.
I believe so.
Yeah, because the year prior, we did it twice. Once with you guys and then once with my mom. And then last year, we all did it together.
Yeah.
That's what we did. Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. Last year, there was a lot of cookies last year with my mom's gluten-free ones.
Oh, yeah.
In addition to your vegan ones.
Yeah.
And the normal ones.
Yeah.
Not to mention that we had different frosting for the non-vegan and then the vegan.
Because Michael doesn't like all the food dye in it, so we usually just do white.
Mm-hmm. But then we had the normal ones.
Yeah, exactly.
I think technically we did your guys' vegan frosting anyways.
I think it was for all of them. But
it was colored versus not colored. That's what I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when we say cookie day, it's literally the day.
Yeah.
From like, not early morning, but like mid-morning till like dinner time.
Yeah.
If not, still things need to be done.
Yeah.
And we're just like, oh, we'll do that at our own house.
Yep. And then I swear with each year we have a different amount of children that are participating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At least in the past 2 years, it went up by a component of 2.
Yeah. I'm trying to imagine Quincy at this event now.
I think she'll have fun.
She's going to be all up in it.
Because Ellie and Quincy will both be old enough to participate this year.
Yeah.
Whether we do it together or separate,
right?
They're still going to be doing it no matter what.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's fun though.
It is so much fun.
My mom usually puts on like Christmas music, and then sometimes we'll put on a Christmas movie, especially now with a lot of kids being around. It's kind of easier to set them up with a movie while you're
doing the baking.
Call one over to kind of help, and then because sometimes when there's all those little chefs in the kitchen,
yeah,
it gets a little crazy.
It does.
Yeah, and I had a little one.
You did.
Just a few weeks old, like 4 weeks old.
Yes. I was mathing in my head.
Because she would have been November 18th, so, and I'm guessing it was probably around, the week of the 14, 15, 16, 17, around there.
Yep, so you would have had a 1 month old, give or take.
Old, yeah. Trying to remember how that even went.
She kind of got passed around. I think your dad held her for a good point in time.
Oh, that's right. I
held her a little bit. You would take a break, go nurse her, and sit down for like an hour, and it was kind of just like all rotating.
I think
because Ellie was pretty little too.
Yeah, all the holidays kind of blend for me because I had just had her for all of them.
Yeah,
and so I was very much postpartum and very much like new little baby. So I feel like it just blends how each of those events went. Like Thanksgiving, Cookie Day, Christmas, they're all just kind of a blur.
Yeah, I'm like trying to remember. I'm like, which one of those days did you have mastitis?
That was Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't even get a family picture in front of the tree because I just literally was not feeling it.
You didn't look like you felt good.
I felt awful. Don't get mastitis. Not that you can help it really, but don't get it.
If you can prevent it. Because there are ways to prevent it, but it's obviously
it's not foolproof.
No.
Yeah.
It is not.
Because I wasn't doing anything that I didn't do last time, or I wasn't doing something that you know what I mean? Like, just luck of the draw.
Yeah. Thankfully, I have still yet to have like a serious case of mastitis. I've gotten to like the beginnings, but I was able
to. Like a clogged duct.
That like was starting to get inflamed, but I was able to. So probably was, I think, still technically mastitis, but it was like the early stages.
Yeah. And
I was able to get it cleared before it turned into anything bad. And I think yours was like a stuck one, wasn't it?
It was so bad. Ugh. It was right here.
Ugh. I remember
Hard
you
as
just
a rock,
being like
red. Like I felt like I had the flu.
You
I remember
like shit.
that night my boobs were sore, but I had just had Quincy. And sorry, this is off topic from Cookie Day, but whatever. I'm telling the story.
Fine.
So when your milk comes in, your boobs are hard, and sometimes they don't get all the milk out, so they're tender.
Yeah, they're tender. They're tight. They're kind of I don't know the tingle
yes,
of it.
Yes. So I had that.
It was imagining it.
It was pretty localized, but I was like, whatever. She just didn't get that
fine.
ducked out. It's totally fine. I'll just keep nursing her on that side until it feels clear. I went to bed, and I remember I had fallen asleep for maybe like 5 minutes, and I woke up shivering, like could not get warm, like shivering. And I was like, what's going on? So I called Michael because I was in the bedroom, and I was like, I am so cold. And he's like, okay, well, let me get you like some blankets. So he threw a bunch of blankets on me. And he's like, is that better? And I was like, I think so. I'll get warm here in a minute. And he leaves, and I call him back in. I'm like, I'm so cold. Like, he's like, okay, well, just give me her, and you just go take a hot shower. So I went and I took a hot shower, and then it was really starting to hurt. So then I was in the shower, like massage. And I came out, and I think this was the 2 days before Christmas Eve. And then, yeah, it was 2 days before Christmas Eve, because then the following day it was still hurting. I had contacted my midwife, and she was like, try all these things, blah, blah, blah. If it doesn't work, you're going to have to go in and get some antibiotics. So I tried all those things, wasn't touching it. So then the day before Christmas Eve, I had to go into urgent care, and thankfully they were able to give me antibiotics, but I felt awful. It was the worst.
Yeah.
It was the worst. And when they nurse when you have it, it literally feels like ice shards coming out of your nipple.
I have heard that. Like I said, I only ever had it very minor, and mine was really small.
Yeah.
And it was just really painful.
Yeah.
I can only imagine if it's so much bigger.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Like shards of glass just coming out.
No thanks.
Let's not have that this year.
I imagine that's comparable to like a kidney stone.
It could be.
But in your boob.
Ouch. I mean, I'm still nursing, but at this point, I can't imagine why I would get mastitis.
I know that it's a lot more common in the early phase.
Yeah, when you're like super engorged. And I was very engorged this time. And I think it's because she was an immediate heavy eater. And
Probably.
so she was just, my body was like,
okay,
here it is.
we're doing this.
And then she slowed down. And then I think that's when I got mastitis. Joy. Anyway,
such a joy.
back to cookie days.
Back
I
to
wasn't
cookie
feeling well on Christmas, but we had lots of cookies.
Yes, we did. Thankfully, you were able to get through cookie day
Yeah.
before that happened.
Yes.
But it was literally like 2 weeks later. And
Yeah. Literally.
But there was lots of cookies on Christmas.
Lots of cookies. And I love that we make so many different kinds, because I feel like if we just made sugar cookies, like a bunch of sugar cookies, you don't want that anymore. You're like, I want a little something else.
Yeah, so you get a lot of variety.
Yeah.
And that's always fun. I will say, I really enjoy the decorating part of doing the sugar cookies for about 20 minutes.
Yep.
And then I'm over it.
It's like 1 or 2 cookies in, and you're like, okay, don't care anymore. Slap it on and go.
Yep, you start being like, sprinkles, done.
Yeah.
And then your kids
are piling on frosting and then dipping their finger and licking it and dipping it back into the cookie, and you're like, that one's yours.
Yep. Then they do it to 17% of them,
and then you're like, okay, those are mine now, I guess, for later. Yep.
Or like they'll only put frosting on like certain parts, and you're like, wow, look at this half bare cookie, half heavily saturated, heavily sprinkled with the pearl sprinkles that break your teeth.
the cookies that literally just have a pile of sprinkles
Oh
on.
yes.
And you're like, love it. And then you like dump it off before you put it in the thing.
Oh yeah, if when you pick up a cookie and the sprinkles start to fall off, and then you like turn it upside down, and all of a sudden just all the sprinkles fall off, except for obviously the ones that are stuck to the frosting.
Yeah.
And then they get mad at you as if it's your fault, and it's like, this was stuck to nothing.
Yeah,
I don't know what you expect of me.
I don't know what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then like you get to let them like pick which ones, are theirs, because kids always get at least one cookie during cookie day,
At least.
right?
Yeah.
If they don't remember, Damon just started eating one
Every
during
single one, he would like take a bite out of it.
I remember.
Frosting. Yeah. And then what's
funny.
hard is when you have, like, I'm assuming Quincy and Ellie will be this way. They're interested for only so long, but you still have like 50 cookies to frost.
Yes.
And then your slightly older ones take about 20 minutes per cookie, and you're like,
Yes.
come on, we got to wrap this up.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
And so you, as the adult,
Then
kind of
have to
commit
panically frost
to so many. Yeah. And it's funny. It's because you go into it being like, I'm going to decorate them so nice. You do one or two, and then it's just, sometimes like I even caught myself once literally just dipping it into the frosting and was just like, fuck this.
Yep.
Done.
It's like the first one, you get the candy cane cookie and you very meticulously put white.
It's always
red,
the candy
white,
cane one
red,
first. Candy
white,
cane
red.
or the
Yes.
or the tree.
Or
those
the
are
tree.
always one of the first
and you
two.
decorated them so nice, so nice.
Pretty.
And then you're like, blue Christmas tree, fucking bright orange candy cane. Like I don't care. Sprinkles, sure.
Yeah. Orange with green sprinkles on the candy cane. You're like, it's done.
You want to make them like the aesthetically pleasing. No, you don't.
You do for about 5 minutes and then you're done. And then it's just, you have so many more to do. And the kids are literally taking.
And the kids don't care.
They don't.
Like when they go grab a cookie later on, they don't care. They are grabbing theirs that they made a masterpiece of.
That's if they even remember.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, half of the time they don't even know which ones they made.
Like they typically go for the one that's just like slopped on.
Right.
Like your nicely done one, they'll leave that one in there until the very end.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, I don't want that one. I know for sure my mom did that one.
Yeah. They're like, well, that one's not mine. And mine are like best of the best.
Yeah, they have about 3-inch layer thick frosting. And I'm not a frosting girl. I like a thin layer.
Yeah. It's like, I am to an extent.
Yeah.
For like one cookie.
I get that.
And then I'm done.
Usually it's like the first day that you make them. You'll choose
when
one with like a good,
soft.
with a good amount of frosting. But then it's like, then when it gets to be like the hard frosting, you don't want that thick frosting. You just want a nice thin layer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in addition to all of that, you know, there's obviously like the shapes and stuff that you do. And it's always fun to like let the kids do that. But then it sucks too, because they'll be like, they'll do it and then it won't go all the way through. And then you're like, well, shit, now I have to
finagle it. Because they'll already pick it up.
Yep. Or like you have to put it down, make sure it's whatever. And then you're like, all right, put the next one like right here. And you're trying to make sure you can get as many out of this flat piece that you can. And then they just go stamp, 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 stamp. And you're like, there's so much extra dough that I now have to re-roll.
Yep. And try to get it the same thickness as I did last time.
Because I don't have enough space for anything.
But they want to help roll it out.
But they want to help.
So then you have one side that's like paper thin.
That's
and the
literally
other
about to fall
side's like
off.
3 inches thick.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's perfect. And you're like, it's going to bake terribly. One side's going to burn and the other side won't be done.
Yep. That's when you go, oh, I need you to go and grab something for me out of the back room. And you just give them some arbitrary location. You're like, oh yeah, the wardrobe in the back room, when you don't have a wardrobe in the back room. And you're like, in the third drawer on the left.
I need you to grab the other cookie cutters.
Yes. It's really important. Do not come back out without them. And then you have enough time to re-roll and then go, never mind. And then they're like, good, I couldn't find it anyway.
They're like, found them.
Come back out with something they shouldn't have.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, yeah.
Or like you're looking to one of the other parents, like, distract your child.
Yeah, please take them. Take them home.
Oh yeah, I remember. I think it was last year. Anna was trying to help so much, and your mom was kind of just like, and I'm like, Anna, how about you come help me?
It was like my mom was trying to let her help as much as she could, and then there was just certain parts that like,
she can't.
We gotta get this thing rolling, and like to have you do this is going to literally add 30 minutes to the process. Can you please just let me do it really fast?
Yes. Thankfully, like, she's finally at that age now when just like, even in everyday life, if realistically she can't help with something, she's just kind of like, oh, okay. I'm like, when you're a little bit older, it'll make so much more sense. But how about you just go play for a little bit or go watch the whatever. And then I will call you in 10 minutes when it's your turn to help with the thing that you can help with. And she's like, yeah. And she follows directions so much better.
Yeah.
So I'm like looking forward to it a little bit more this year. Except I know that replacing her with the role of
Damon and Maverick.
Or Damon and Maverick.
Yeah. And Maverick's really been big into helping.
And I want to mix it. 2 of them.
And their version of mixing is flinging flour out of the bowl.
Thankfully, Damon mixing something is all of like 5 seconds worth of doing this, and then he's satisfied.
Oh, good for you.
I know. I'm so blessed with it, because like I'll be like, oh, can you help me mix this? And he goes, oh yeah, all done. I'm like, perfect. I can do it myself.
No, Maverick's like I need to mix more. No, mix more. And I'm like, okay, but you're getting flour all out the bowl, and we got to keep that in because it'll mess up with the recipe. And he goes, oops, sorry, Mom. Oops, sorry, Mom. I'm just like, oh, it's okay.
So it's Maverick. That's good. Okay, so it was my kid last year, but your kid this year.
Yeah. Thankfully, he can kind of be distracted away from it. I think if he helps enough, like maybe one batch of cookies he's going to be really intent on helping with. Mm-hmm. And then the rest he'll kind of be like, oh, okay, whatever. Yeah. I don't need to do that.
The part that I'm looking forward to is if we all do it together this year is the screaming.
I'm not.
Because we all know my son's probably going to start it.
Oh.
And he's just going to...
Yeah.
As soon as someone pisses him off.
And Quincy now copies everything.
So does Ellie. Cool. So if he screams...
And Maverick will just yell back because he's frustrated and he doesn't know what you're doing. And he's like, ah!
Oh, Ellie thinks it's funny. She'll literally just smile and run up and just, ah! I'm like, what are you doing?
These kids.
Yeah.
Cookie Day gets a little chaotic.
I swear the more kids we have,
the worse it's going to get. Unless, well, I mean, they are getting older. So maybe it'll get better in some respects. Then we're going to run into, I don't want to go to Cookie Day. Can I just stay home?
Then you go. To get a cookie.
Yeah. If you come, you can have cookies, though. If you don't come, you don't get any. Sorry.
And you see, so that's where I'm kind of sitting at, where I'm like, we have a lot of kids in a very short time span. So they're all going to be the cranky teenagers all at once. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to be like, if we don't do Cookie Day, you're going to complain about not having any fucking cookies. But if we do Cookie Day, you're going to complain about doing Cookie Day.
Right.
There's no in between.
Yep. Yeah, the kids, it's weird because it makes it like super enjoyable and like you get excited for their excitement. Mm-hmm. But then I feel like 10 minutes into Cookie Day, you're kind of like, why do we do this again? Yeah.
But then like you also get like the adult exposure aspect. Right. Being able to talk to people.
Yeah. Whatever. I think honestly it will go better this year. I have a good feeling about this year because, I mean, at least the last time they were over, I feel like they all played really well.
Thankfully, yes. They're all starting to get into I can play independently, but I can also play cohesively.
Yes. So I think that they will play well together. Cross our fingers. As long as they don't like try to run into the other rooms and stuff, which I feel like they won't. I feel like usually when they're over, they're pretty centralized to the living room, dining room area. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it could go better this year.
Fingers crossed.
It would be wonderful if the guys don't have things going on, work or whatever.
That's the part that I'm like,
so that they can be there as buffers. Yeah.
That's the part that I'm particularly nervous about with Thomas's weird ass fucking rotating schedule. That I'm like, what day is it going to be on? Because it's probably going to be on a weekend, right?
I'm assuming. Normally. Either a weekend Friday, or a Friday.
Yeah.
That's typically when we try to do it.
We'll figure it out. Yeah. Either I'll be coming solo and crying, or I'll be thankful to have my husband there to help.
Yeah. It is really helpful just to have another set of hands.
It is. Especially because 9 times out of 10, they just kind of sit in the living room. Because they're not participating.
Right. And they don't really care. Like, they care for the end product, but not really. I feel like they get into the frosting part of the sugar cookies a little bit.
A little. Thomas hates that part. Oh. Thomas is just not... I mean, we've talked about this. He doesn't like the holidays. He's not a festive
guy. That's okay.
Sad.
It's okay. It's okay. It's just him.
It's just who he is. I love him so very much.
Exactly. Yeah. So they help. Mostly. When they're there. Mostly. Yeah. The cleanup also is sometimes a nightmare. Unless you clean as you go. Yeah. Which my mom is very good about that. She's a very like, we're going to clean as we go. We're going to wash this bowl and we're going to reuse this bowl for the next batch of cookies.
Did we do a disposable tablecloth last year? Because if not, we should.
I don't think we did. I think we just used my mom's plastic.
We should.
Table Because we didn't do it on her wood table. I think she brought out all of her plastic tables. Maybe we did.
Because I think the dollar store has those like party cheap ones, and then we can literally just corner, throw it away. Don't have to worry about like scraping the
Maybe
sprinkles.
we did.
I'm trying to remember what we did last year. I don't know.
Because I vaguely, maybe it was the year prior, but I vaguely remember somebody like pulling it. I don't know, but we could do it that this year, or even saran wrap the table.
That's a lot of saran wrap.
That is. I usually saran wrap like an end of the table when Maverick like paints.
Oh,
so then I can just. Sorry, not environmentally friendly, but mess friendly.
Yeah.
I need to saran wrap my whole house, and then I can just pick it up.
Just live on a tarp.
Oh, that would be awful, but
crunch, 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 crunch.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that.
Pretty much living in like your house is getting like renovated and then the stuff everywhere.
Oh, yep.
That's what that reminds me of. The disposable plastic wrap.
Yeah, I couldn't live in that.
That's funny.
Yeah. Anyways, what's your favorite holiday cookie?
I think I am pretty partial to the snickerdoodles. But I mean, I have mentioned before that I do like the cinnamon spice type flavor.
Right.
You know, with my spice chai lattes and things like that. And so those ones also don't tend to overwhelm me. I'm not super big into sweets.
Right.
I will eat like maybe one, and I mean literally one of the peanut butter kiss whatever ones.
Yeah.
Because the peanut butter tends to overwhelm me. Like if I'm going to eat like Reese's peanut butter cups, like the actual candy, I can still maybe only have like one or two. Yeah. And then I need a break.
Right. I can understand that.
And then the sugar cookies, I eat maybe 2 throughout the entire season. Yeah. And then my husband eats all of them. Yep. He loves cookies. For a non-festive person, he will eat all of the cookies. So
you would think that he would be into cookie day.
Right.
But he doesn't want to make them. He just wants to eat them.
Yeah. He wants to reap all the benefits with not putting in any effort for it. Yeah. But he likes the sugar cookies. He likes to dunk them in the milk. What about you and Michael?
Right. Michael's really, he just likes whatever, honestly. He's not the biggest fan of sugar cookies, though.
Fair.
He doesn't like a whole lot of frosting, and he says that they're too sweet.
See, that's why I'm not like I said, like maybe day of or the next day. Yeah. But then like after like the 3rd or 4th day, it's just.
Right. You're kind of over it.
I'm over it.
Yeah. I get that.
I smelled it a lot those days, and now I'm like.
Right. I feel like usually after cookie day, the last ones to go are the sugar cookies for us.
Same. Those are the ones that stay in the Tupperware the longest.
Yeah. I do like the snickerdoodles. I know it sounds basic, but I'm really just down for a chocolate chip cookie.
I know, they're so good. Which, speaking of, really quick, super fast, it's cookie related, so I'm interjecting. You know how I said whenever I make chocolate chip cookies, they always have a weird texture? Yes. My husband followed the exact same recipe, and his are perfect. I do not know.
What are you doing to your cookies?
I don't know.
Are you over mixing?
I don't know.
Are you over cooking?
I don't know.
Interesting.
Like, I watched him and I'm like, I'm literally doing the exact same thing.
You guys will have to do it side by side one day. And like
he does one batch and I do the other.
Yeah. So you can't use your KitchenAid. You'll have to just hand mix. And just see.
Well, technically one of us could do the KitchenAid. Pull the bowl out. Do the other one.
True.
And then see what happens. Because, I'm so flustered over what is happening to my chocolate chip cookies because I feel like we're doing the exact same thing and yet somehow mine are just swollen.
That would be frustrating.
Whereas his are like that perfect, like kind of mottled texture.
Those are my kind of cookies.
Mine are puffy. They still taste good, but they are typically puffy. But I don't like them puffy. I prefer them thin.
I will say Michael's cookies usually turn out puffy. I wonder what that's about. Me
and Michael are just doing something wrong. And I'm a good baker. But clearly not with these chocolate chip cookies.
Chocolate chip cookies are your kryptonite.
Clearly.
Oh, we also make the Oreo truffles.
Oh, right.
Oh, those are good. My mom makes
Those are
cookie dough
pretty good.
truffles. So hers, it's like a cookie dough bite, and then it's usually white chocolate around that.
Mm-hmm.
And then mine, well, she makes them too. It's literally Oreos, cream cheese. You blend that together, and then you just dip them in chocolate.
Mm-hmm. Thomas really liked those.
They're so good.
What was it last year before the first time we had it? And he was like, ooh.
They are dangerous, but they are good. Those are usually the first to go.
I think that was the case in our house too. Mm-hmm. Those were gone before anything else was. Followed quickly by the snickerdoodles and the chocolate chip cookies. I think the chocolate chip was first. Mm-hmm. Then it was snickerdoodles, and then
sugar cookies,
trailing into the new year.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of times we make like 2-3 batches of those Oreo truffles because they just go so fast, and Michael's like, I need more.
And everybody loves them.
Yep. And around his birthday, he's usually like, can you make those for my birthday? And I'm like, yep. They're really easy to make, so.
I mean, hey.
And cheap.
True. Mm-hmm. And then, have there ever, on any cookie day, either growing up or as an adult or whatever, has there ever been a cookie that you guys made that you never repeated because it just like really wasn't anybody's forte?
That's a good question.
I feel like my mom made, I'll answer the question first.
Okay.
Maybe it'll jog your memory or something. My mom made, I want to say it was like a coconut something once. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was like a chocolate and coconut. Mm-hmm. I think maybe would have been. I also think she made a lemon something once.
Okay.
Neither of those have ever happened since.
Understandably.
I think because it's just like, it's not a fan favorite.
Right. I like to try new cookie recipes. I think my mom always tries to do like a different one. Mm-hmm. And try a different one. I think last year was like the red velvet one, and then I think Dylan made another one that was different that we hadn't tried, but I don't remember what it was. So it's kind of hit or miss. I remember one year, this isn't a cookie, but it's a dessert. One year we were living at our old house, Michael and I, and I made, have you seen all those things where it's like Christmas crack, and it's like a mixture conglomerate of like things? Okay, no. Anyway. It was, I don't remember everything in it. It was like chocolate. I know that for a fact. I think it was like the marshmallow fluff, peanuts, and something else. Anyways, you put it all in a crock pot. You melt it all down. Mm-hmm. And then you're supposed to like lay it out on a tray. It hardens, and then you chop it up. And then it's like these little like
bark.
Chocolate. Yeah, kind of like
or
bark.
Whatever it is.
I made that one year, and it was like a super old crock pot that I used, and it kind of like burnt it. And I've yet to make that again.
Fair.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I made any cookies though that we just absolutely did not jive with, and I don't think so. Not that I can think of anyway.
Fair.
Yeah.
I like cookie day. Cookie day is a fun day.
It is a fun day.
Chaotic.
Very.
But fun.
A lot of memories.
A lot of memories. Mm-hmm. I remember my grandma would come over when I was a kid, and we did it. Because like when I was a kid, it was kind of just like my mom would have my grandma come over, and like we would participate. Mm-hmm. We also didn't live anywhere near you guys.
Right.
And so she would always get in on it, and she would decorate with us for the 2 hours it took to decorate.
Right, yeah.
And she was a real trooper. And so that was always fun. And I like that, you know, as and we talked about traditions last week, and we mentioned that this is a tradition that we've like carried on and stuff.
Right.
I hope that this stays a tradition that like generations to come.
Yeah.
Our kids still do it.
I agree.
Imagine if, so we have X amount of kids, right? Right now there's, 5?
Yes.
In a few years from now, there might be more, right? Imagine if, as adults, all 5 to 7, 10, 20, however many kids we end up having between us, they all still get together.
Yeah.
And then that would be chaotic. They'd need to rent a space for that.
That would be cool, though.
That'd be kind of cool.
That would be like, it might end up turning into like you bake them at your house.
And then you come together
and we have like a let's try everybody's cookies kind of a thing.
That would be kind of cool.
Which would be kind of fun. It'd be fun to like
a potluck cookie
create a new one and then that's what you bring, and then you have your staples, of course. But every year you have to come up with a new cookie.
That would be kind of a cool tradition.
That would be cool.
See, I think that it'd be kind of cool to kind of see how it morphs, and if our kids still decide to do it together as they get older, or if they end up going off and doing their own thing, especially with us having slightly larger families than we grew up with. I mean, I know that right now yours is still technically smaller than what you grew up with, but mine's already larger.
Right.
And so it'll be interesting to kind of see, like, do they all still get together when they're older? Do they just say, fuck you, I did it enough times with you?
Right, yeah. Or do they just naturally drift apart? Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see that.
It would be interesting. I hope it stays. I'll probably do it forever, as long as I'm living. Regardless if, you know, it's my kids coming over to my house and it's just us doing it or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it.
I look forward to kind of seeing how Cookie Day morphs over the years, but for now, I'm excited to just see all the kids getting together and having fun with cookies.
Yeah.
And causing chaos in our lives and
absolutely
stressing us out, but it's for a good cause.
Sure.
Just because, like, we think about it and we're like, oh, we look back on it fondly.
Oh, yeah. But when you're in it, you're
in
like,
the moment, it's chaos.
Oh my God, are we done yet?
Yes. And you're like, we've only been here an hour.
Yeah, we still have like 4 or 5 cookies to make.
Oh, and like in addition to Cookie Day, we, growing up, we never really did like a traditional lunch because it was always, you know, lasting through the day. Right. It was always, jeez, I'm sorry. It was always like kind of snacky. Like there'd be like the snack tray with like summer sausage. You got the cheese, you got the crackers, salami. I don't know what else.
Right.
Whatever. You have that. You got the fruit. You got the veggies, and like that was just that's just what you did.
Isn't that what we did last year?
Yes,
I think.
I believe so.
Yeah, because my mom wanted like food there, but she didn't want like cooking in the oven or on the stove because we're using it.
Yeah, and then when you have that many kids too, it's hard to be like, okay, well, I only brought chicken nuggets.
Right.
And the one came in like, oh, I'm chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
It's easier to just be snacky.
Yep.
And to
forage for yourself.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What
do you guys do for Cookie Day? Do you guys do a Cookie Day? Do you do Cake Day? I don't know what you guys do. Pie Day? Oh, hey, that would be kind of a cool thing to hear.
Or just dessert day. Maybe you guys just get together and make all the desserts.
I feel like if you were doing pies, you would want to do that a lot closer to Christmas.
Probably.
Whereas
if you're wanting them for Christmas itself,
Whereas cookies, you can
prolong those
a little bit because they stay good for a little while.
Yeah.
But so what do you guys do? What do you make? Do you do like the staples of the snickerdoodles? Maybe gingerbread?
True.
Love how we didn't mention gingerbread.
Nope.
We
don't really do that.
We did a gingerbread house one time, maybe 2 times growing up, but it was always the kids.
Yeah. I think I did it 1 or 2 times growing up.
I don't like gingerbread.
They're a pain in the butt. And I feel like somebody always gets frustrated or something breaks. And then you're kind of just like, and then you don't eat it. At least we never did. So then it just sits there. I think my brothers would like pick off the candy and eat the candy. But the actual gingerbread house part, no.
I just don't think it tastes good.
No. Michael used to they used to make it.
Oh, like they bake it.
Like they would bake the like sides, they would bake the roof, they would bake all that and then put it together. And he said that was really fun. But that almost sounds worse. Because now if you don't get the right texture of said cookie that needs to attach to the other
Clearly,
cookie.
I would not be the one to be trusted with that.
You'd have a puffy house.
I would have a very puffy looking house. They'd be like,
that's not going to stick together.
No.
I'm going to have a little hobbit hole. Which could be cute.
Just like tear it up, mix it with some frosting, and just be like, we're making a igloo.
Yeah, literally.
Put on white frosting and like, oh, I meant to do this.
Yep.
The best I got.
But yeah, let us know what you guys do. Next week, we're going to be talking about gifts and our thoughts on Santa Claus.
Yes. So make sure you tune in for that one. That'll be the one right before Christmas.
I believe so, if our timing's correct.
I mean, we really fucked it up last month. So, or like
Halloween holiday.
That way. Yeah. That one.
So we'll see.
We'll see if we got it right this time.
Tune in next week and find out.
Yep.
All right. We'll see you guys later.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.